So I'm sitting at the dinner table with the family, right? And the news is on the TV in the background. So we start talking about the lotto, right? I believe the lotto now is what, like $1 billion or something crazy like that. So, the topic of discussion is, hey, why don't you play lotto? You ever played before? Naturally, I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, why not? It's like $1 billion now. People do win. They might win like $1 million or something like that, but there are people who win. I'm like, yeah. But the reason, it's not that I don't like money, right? It's not, I mean, sure, you can win, but it's not something that interests me. Well, why is that? So I'm a firm believer in the experience, right? The experience of putting it together for yourself, the experience of earning something, right? It's kind of like food always tastes much better when you're starving, right? So I want to use the experience of the jigsaw puzzle. So, right, well, you go to the store, you see this big box, right? Beautiful picture on the front. And inside, there are about 1,000 pieces to this huge puzzle. This thing is like 5 by 5, right? So the picture of what it looks like is already on the front. So you figure, well, that would ruin it for everybody, right? Because spoiler alert, that's what it looks like. It's on the front already. You already know what it looks like. But for some reason, it just didn't turn out that way. Well, why is that? Why is something like the jigsaw puzzle? Why was it effective? Why is it so crafty, right? Why is it such a good idea to put the picture on the front? Because I mean, as the picture on the front shows to be kind of like a spoiler, it's also how you market the puzzle. Because I mean, you wouldn't bother trying to put a puzzle together if you didn't really know what it looked like, right? So the picture on the front of the puzzle serves as a goal, right? And what about goals? You have to visualize them, right? It's all about vision. So, as a kid, I got that 1,000-piece puzzle for Christmas, right? This thing was huge, 5 by 5, something like that, huge, right? And when you're a little kid, everything seems huge, right? It may not seem as big as an adult, but when you're a kid, everything seems huge. My dad is like 5'4" or 5'5". When I was a kid, he looked like he was like 6'3". So, I mean, everything looks huge. But anyways, I digress. I get this puzzle, and I immediately start going to work on this thing. I look at the front, the box. I see this puzzle. I'm enthralled by the picture. I rip open the lid, dump all the pieces out, right? Start scattering them out and whatnot. Look at the picture. And then I look at the pieces. All right, cool. So this is where the water is. So this goes here and this goes here. So I'm trying to figure the thing out, right? So it maybe took me like 20 minutes to a half an hour to sort everything out and look at the pieces and see what might go where, right? So I get a piece of cardboard. I get like a big piece of cardboard from like a box, right? Like a big shipment box, cardboard. So I can have a base to do the puzzle on. So I get that, I start doing the puzzle. Halfway in, I run out of space in the cardboard. I had no idea how big this thing really was. So you know what, I had to go and find something bigger to use as a base to do the puzzle on. So it took me a little while. I had to find for a box or whatever big enough, cut it up, and put together like, a base to, that was big enough for the puzzle. So I found one, and the puzzle continues. I transplant the pieces over to the new base, and I continue. So, hours and hours, day after day, about 2 days later, I'm almost done, right? But the problem is I'm about maybe 70% done, 75. But I'm doing this puzzle and I'm in everybody's way, right? Because I got this thing like right in the middle of the floor in a common walking space. So I have to find another place to do this puzzle. So I'm like, all right, fine. That's another hurdle to get over, right? So I find another space in another room of the house to do it. Okay. So business as usual, back at it. Now I'm about 98% done. But here's the problem. Here's the next hurdle. The puzzle requires 5 more pieces. I have 4. I'm missing one. Right? So I'm extremely frustrated by this because of the fact that now I've been at this for like 3 days. right? Going on 4 days, and now I have to find this puzzle piece. Now, I can see what the puzzle looked like from the front of the box. And now I've put it together about 98, 99%. I can see what it looks like. I put it together for the most part, right? So that should have been good enough for me, right? Yeah, well, at least I had 99% of the puzzle. But it wasn't. It bothered me. But this missing piece was just taunting me, right? Just glaring, just antagonizing me, right? So I said, you know what, I gotta find this piece. So I retraced my steps, right? Because at some point in time, I must have lost this piece when I had moved the puzzle to another part of the house. So I must have dropped it or something. So I retraced my steps. I'm looking all around, and finally, I find this piece. I get this piece, I run back to the puzzle, I plug it in. Bam, 100%, done, right? I got 100% of the puzzle. This thing is enormous, it's immaculate, right? I put it together myself. Made a frame out of it, taped all the pieces together, put it in a frame, everything, right? It's like my masterpiece. I got all the pieces, I put it together, I did it by myself. That was my accomplishment. Mind you, I was like maybe in between the ages of like 9 and 12, let's say, right? And this was a huge thing for me because now, you know, to put together something of that kind of size, that kind of dedication that you need, the hurdles and the frustrations that you have to go through in order to complete it, right? That experience is the thing that makes the puzzle so phenomenal. It's not about the picture. It's not even about owning the picture. It's not about seeing it, it's not about owning it, it's about putting it together. It's about the accomplishment that you made, that you achieved from putting in the time and overcoming the hurdles in order to get the job done. So I'm going to equate that back to $1 billion. We know what it looks like when a person's wealthy. We've seen pictures of the $1 million homes, the $100,000 cars, the luxurious lifestyle, the private jets. We've seen it, right? Anybody who's on a TV at any point in time, you've seen it, right? We idolize celebrities all the time. Gawk at them, take pictures of them, rush to stores to shake their hands and whatnot, right? We don't even know these people, but we're enthralled by the lifestyle. That's just the vision, but we have the vision. We know it's possible. We've seen it done. Plenty of people become rich, right? But it's something about that where some people, they want that for themselves. So they take that vision and they say, I'm going to make that for myself, right? So the same way you buy that box of the jigsaw puzzle is the same way you'll now adopt the vision of wealth for yourself. So now you got all these pieces, right? And these pieces basically is life, right? Every year of your life is like one piece. Every book you read, every instructional video you watch, every time you succeed, every time you fail at something, every time you learn something about yourself, every new person you meet, every event in your life is an experience, and that experience serves as one piece of that jigsaw puzzle. Right? And that lottery ticket, that can be a piece too. When it doesn't win or it does win or whatever the case is, right? Everything's a piece of that large puzzle. But not just the beauty of the vision is the thing that's important, or at least that catches me. It's the experience of putting all those pieces together to form your complete vision. You don't want 90% of your vision. You don't want 99% of your vision. You want 100% of your vision sitting in front of you after you've completed it. That experience is priceless, and you're never going to get that experience by just handing in lottery tickets. You got to chase the experience. That's what life is about. It's about much more than money. It's more than 500 million. It's more than 1 billion. It's the experience. Because like I tell everybody else, food always tastes much better when you're starving. Chase the experience.